Well, hi. I said I wasn't going to start every video with a coffee, but clearly that was a lie. Okay, so here is the update. We are still working on the furniture switcheroo. I have made a little bit of progress off camera, and I'll flip it around in a second and show you everything. Basically, how these videos are gonna go is I am probably gonna do some stuff off camera, some stuff on camera, depending on if my house is full of little children and I can't film, but I still want to keep going. So you might not see every single little thing that I'm doing, but I'll keep you updated and I'll show as much as I can. For now, let me just show you where things stand. Okay, we're in the office, clearly. I have been working on cutting down these bins. I actually sorted through them all and don't need to put this right here. This is for the vacuum. This is what we're down to. These aren't completely full either. These two ones on top are about half full, half empty. That one doesn't have, it's not completely stuffed either. So there's about 3 bins worth of stuff that I think is still good enough and still valuable enough that's worth my time to actually list it and sell it. Over here, these 4, this big tower, all of that stuff is getting donated. So that's pretty good. And I did do a live sort of like sort with me thing over on Vamp, which is where I do my live sales. So, and it was kind of like, okay, last chance for this stuff. If anybody wants it, I'll just start it at $5 and we'll see if anybody wants anything out of this stuff. And then I was like actively sorting it. And as I was going through it, I was like, all this stuff is junk. Like, so much of it was actually like broken stuff that I should have just tossed or donated or just gotten rid of right off the bat. So I'm a little frustrated with former Jamie, who didn't sort her inventory very well back when she got it and didn't just like let that stuff go in the moment, because I've been storing it for like 6 years. It's fine. I forgive myself. We're moving past it. Yeah, and I only sold one thing out of all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I kind of agree with that because it's not really good stuff. But I've sorted out the gooder stuff. I went through the rest of the bins just on my own. I didn't do another live sort with me thing. It was just, it took too much time and it wasn't financially worth it, but I gave it a go. So now I sorted it all just on my own and we're gonna donate that stuff. I've listed some things on Facebook Marketplace that are just kind of more bulky things that I wouldn't want to ship. Some of the good stuff I'll have like a proper live sale and I'll sell it the way that I normally do. So that's where we stand in here. Also, as suspected, the cats love it here. So I moved this cat tree back in this room. This is where we had it anyway. You can see the wind is blowing through the window so nicely. It's a great place for them to sit, and I'm telling you, once this bed is in here, that's gonna be their primary location. Also, hi, I'm Jamie. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back and watch the last video. We're turning this office into a guest room. I'm severely downsizing my vintage reselling business, and this is going to be a guest room / office / everything. Now, a few days ago, I filmed a little clip of a video about Blake's desk, Blake's computer specifically. So I will insert that here. Enjoy. Okay, I have encountered the first hiccup in my plan, but I've already solved it. Thank you in advance for any suggestions you were going to make, but I have already figured it out. The problem is, I just realized Blake's computer here in the office. Oh, look at her, by the way. Darling. This monstrosity here. It is hardwired to the modem or router or whatever it's called. He has it like wired. It's not a wireless situation. He has a gaming computer. He built it. I don't even know if it has Wi-Fi. Even if it does, he needs it connected directly with a cord because it's faster, ? And we don't want to move the router because that was like the first instinct was like, oh, well, we'll call the cable company and we'll have them come out and move the router. But it's like completely on the other side of the room and upstairs. And it's like, I didn't want his computer up in our bedroom anyway. You saw me say that. You saw me say the only thing I don't like about this is having Blake up in our bedroom playing video games while I'm trying to sleep. So we're going to keep his computer down here. I'm just going to change the layout a little bit in this room from what I was planning, and it means I will be losing a bookshelf. I think I'll still be able to have one, but I'm going to lose one. So that means this wall here with the door to the bathroom that we want to hide, I would love to have 2 Billy bookcases right here, just completely hide the door like I used to have previously. Couldn't see the door at all. When I moved them, lots of people were like, oh my God, there's a door back there. I had no idea. And that's what I wanted. That's what I liked. But we need 2 desks down here, period. So I think what's going to happen is back in this void, that's where I was going to put the highboy dresser. But also, I didn't love the fact that this door, when we open it, would swing open and possibly crash into the highboy dresser. So I was looking for like different kind of door stops and stuff that would prevent the door from opening all the way. But I'm thinking I could just put a desk right there and kind of tucked back behind where you're not really seeing it very well. That will be Blake's computer. He will just have to shut the door to do his gaming, which is preferred anyway. And I asked him and he said that's fine. He doesn't care at all about that. So then this wall with the door to the bathroom, I'm gonna put the highboy right here and then 1 bookshelf. It will cover most of this door. It's just about like that much. Let's see, about that much would be showing, I think. I think it's the best we can do given the circumstances. Hopefully it doesn't make me crazy, but I think it'll still be all right. I am a little sad that I would potentially be losing a bookcase. I also considered like something with this closet because we're just using it for memory box storage. And I was like, well, if I move all the memory boxes somewhere else and store them somewhere else, what if we take the doors off the closet and we put a desk in the closet for Blake, or even leave the doors on the closet and he just opens the closet. But then I'm like, okay, I would have to take out the entire closet system that's in there, which is a janky closet system. Some resident here, some tenant probably put it in there at some point. It's practically falling apart. So I'm like, that wouldn't be the end of the world. But also, that's a lot of work. It's not a fun thing for if we move and we would have to like rebuild that whole thing again. We would have to store all of it. And if we took the mirrored closet doors off, we would have to store those somewhere too. And it just is like, okay, that's a huge project. And like one of these desks doesn't fit in there. So then I'd have to buy some new kind of desk that's really skinny and longer that would fit in there. And it was just like, okay, that's becoming very complicated. And I have 3 weeks to do this. I'm going to need every second of those weeks anyway. So I think the simplest solution right now is just to move his desk behind this door and I just lose a Billy bookcase. I am going to be sorry, I'm filming this in such a weird way. This bookcase, I think since now I'm not going to be putting Blake's desk in our bedroom, I think I'm going to just put that bookcase as my nightstand instead and leave the cedar chest up there where it is. It's not hurting anybody up there. I like it in there. It's a nice little place to sit if I didn't have books on it. One less thing to have to move, to have to empty out. And then we'll have a little bit more room in here, in this room, without one more piece of furniture in it, since we're going to have that desk in here instead. Yeah, I think that's the solution. It's also going to be really nice not to have to lug all of Blake's stuff upstairs. I think overall, it's going to be fine. I will just get extra picky about what books I keep. It'll just force me to be even more selective about the amount of books I'm hoarding. Also having the highboy dresser right here, you'll be able to see it better instead of it being like tucked behind this door. I like that very much. So all around, I'm happy. Crisis averted, problem solved. Yeah. So that's what we're doing with his computer. What I failed to mention is that brown wood table that's at the top of the stairs where the kids used to do their homework. That's the table he's gonna use for his computer down here. I used to have that table right there. So I know it fits. It actually works well right there. It's a bigger table for him. It's deeper, so he'll have actually more space at his desk. The only problem is it doesn't have any desk drawers. So I'm gonna have to get creative with all of his little junky desk knick-knack things. Hopefully they just, a lot of it just, he doesn't really like sit there and use it as a desk. It's just like a computer table. So I'll figure that out, which means both of these desks with the blue drawers, which we did just get last summer, those blue drawer things. Anyway, that's fine. Both of the matching desks are gonna go in the boys' room, which is gonna look better anyway. They can still put the keyboard on one of them. Actually, I will have to show you their room once we go upstairs because I rearranged their whole bedroom. And just kind of like, hey, let's see what it would be like if, you know, because I was thinking about like, oh, well, the drums don't fit in here anymore if we bring both the desks, and where am I gonna put the drums? And I would really like, you know, there was just a whole thought process, and I worked through it, and we rearranged their whole room, and they actually love it. I think when we come back from Iowa and the kids are still with my parents in Oregon, which I don't think I even said that in the last video. I'm like, we're just gonna leave the kids in Oregon. We're gonna go to Iowa. Obviously, my parents live in Oregon and that's why we're going there. So the kids will be with my parents. I watched that back and I was like, it sounds like I'm just saying I'm gonna abandon my children in Oregon by themselves. I have family in Oregon. So Blake and I will come to Iowa, and actually that whole trip has changed a little bit too. We're driving up to Oregon. Everything's just very, very fluid right now. So we are driving up to Oregon with the kids. We're hanging out there for a couple weeks, leaving the kids. Blake and I are driving to Iowa, picking up the furniture, towing it back in a U-Haul. We'll be back home for like a week maybe. The kids will still be in Oregon. In that time, I want to get this room completely finished. And I also am going to paint the boys' bedroom and kind of fix that up and make it kind of more groovy for them as sort of like a surprise. And then instead of my parents bringing the boys home, we're actually driving back to Oregon because there's an event happening that we want to go to, and then we will just drive the kids home rather than buy plane tickets and have them fly home with my mom or whatever. Like, it's just easier. We're just gonna drive back up there and drive them back home ourselves. So we're just gonna be doing a big loop. Big loop this summer again. And it's fine. It's the last time we're gonna be driving out there. I mean, unless there's some like big family reunion or something that's happening out there or some reason to go out there. I mean, we always went out there to visit his grandma, and it's gonna be the last time we see the house because the house is being sold. And oh, it's just, as it's getting closer to it, I especially can sense from Blake how hard he's dreading it, kind of. Ugh. Brings tears to my eyes to just think about it. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the previous video just posted this morning. Okay, like in real time, that's where I am right now. And so many people, I knew that this was gonna happen, is that every time I post a video kind of like this, it seems to be like there's one thing that I forgot to say that seems really like obvious, and then everyone suggests, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And it's the same thing over and over again. And I totally get it. I would have suggested the same thing if I was watching the video. It's just I forgot to verbalize it. Well, now we know, even beyond that, we know Blake's computer has to be in this room because of the internet. But before I even remembered that and realized that, everyone was saying, why doesn't Blake's computer go into his lounge? Walk with me. And that was my first idea too. It absolutely was. And that was the first thing that I suggested to Blake. I was like, can we fit it in here somewhere? And he was like, no. Where is it gonna go? I mean, he's got a point. Where would it possibly go? This is a whole big door. Can't put it in front of the door. That's a whole wall. You can't fit anything right here because then you wouldn't be able to access all of these records. Right? Like, this has to be the way that it is. It has to be kind of open here to be able to access this. This is completely full underneath the kitchen counter. And then this side, those are his speakers that can't go anywhere else. And then that's all of the audio equipment. He has a reel-to-reel player that's being repaired that goes right there in the middle. And that's it, you know? Like, there is no more room in here. There's no other place it could possibly go. I was thinking maybe here on the end somehow, but then we would have to move our wine cooler, and it's like, well, I have no other place to put that. We just got this ice machine, a nugget ice. That was Bo's birthday present this year, because that's how strange of a child I have. That's what he wanted for his 10th birthday, was a nugget ice maker. And anyway, this counter like hangs over so much that, and I mean, that's where like our trash is, which obviously needs to be taken out. But like that still wouldn't really work because this is like part of the kitchen, you know? Then I was thinking like, maybe I lose my coffee thing and put them right here, but I don't want to do that because, you know, that has like kitchen stuff in it. You know, we've been through it with this twice now, and let's just leave that alone. So the thought process did happen. It's moot at this point anyway, because now we know it has to stay in that room. And the more I think about it, I'm gonna have that little bookshelf up in the bedroom. That's not really gonna give me more book storage, because once I lose one of those nightstands, like those nightstands are packed with books. I don't know if this little bookshelf that I'm talking about here, that I'm gonna use as a nightstand, I don't know if that will hold more books than what I'm already using. It might just be a wash. Oh well. I'm gonna make it work. It's fine. And the headboard that we're getting for the bed, it's one of those like bookcase kind of headboards. And there is like storage in that for books if we wanted to put a few books in there too. I mean, it's not a lot, but it is a bookcase style headboard. So that's something. Plus, let's remember I am getting 2 full dressers in this room that don't need to have clothes in them. We're not gonna store clothes in there. We're not clothing people. We don't hardly have any clothes. The kids have more clothes than Blake and I put together for sure. So a lot of the office kind of storage stuff that I need, I'm gonna store it in those drawers, in the dressers. So having one dresser right here, and then one bookshelf, and then the desk out in front of it actually is gonna function really well. So I'm fine with it. And you never know, this might all change again once I get the furniture in here. So bottom line is, this is a fluid thing. I just need to do the cleaning it out of everything stuff now, because that still needs to happen. It's a whole another week later. So now I have 2 weeks. But knowing that we're gonna be home for a week without the kids kinda has me like, I don't feel as much pressure to get this 100% ready before we leave for Oregon. As long as we can get the furniture into this room, and I'm hoping to get the wall painted. So I wanna move the desks, clear off this bookcase, move that bookcase, bring the desk that Blake's computer is gonna be on down here, and get rid of my nightstand that's broken. And do that. So if the rest of this room doesn't get 100% cleaned out, I think it's okay. I would like to paint that wall before we go, if possible. And the desks are the easiest thing to move because there's room up in the boys' bedroom for them right now. So let's go in there real quick and I'll show you what we did. Okay, here is what is going on in the boys' room now. We have, like I said, completely rearranged things. And I did this very much on a whim. Like, the boys were up in here. We were all still in our pajamas. So I didn't film any of it because also I was like, I don't know if we're gonna keep it like this. Let's just try it and see what happens. The first thought was hoping that the dresser could go in the middle here and each desk could fit on the side. But there's not enough room, unfortunately. It's like 2 inches of not enough room. Like the wall is 2 inches too small. So that kind of was a bummer, but this works right here. It actually makes it so much nicer for the air conditioner unit to not be right up against poor Brody's head when he's sleeping. They both really like their beds like this. It's so much easier for them to make their beds. Like, look, they made their beds. They never make their beds. And it's just so much easier because you can walk around both sides. And so they're really loving it. It's easier for them. There's room for the drums right here. And he's like, yeah, I can sit in bed and reach over and hit the drums. I'm like, sure, knock yourself out. And then the 2 desks are gonna go right here. The bookshelf is leaving. I was sorting through the books, which is what this is. This stand for the keyboard is broken. So the keyboard is just gonna sit on the desk. I think we're gonna move the TV over here to the middle of the room so that they can both sit in bed and look straight onto the TV. So that's gonna be really nice. And there's gonna be enough room to open up the drawers too. And yeah, like I said, this room really needs to be repainted. So I'm thinking I'll do that while they're not home. I mean, do you see? Surely you see how dirty this is. So this was the wall that, you know, there was a bed right here, and this was just all the touching the wall on the sleeping stuff. So the walls are pretty gross. They're definitely, it's time to repaint the walls. And I'm gonna get the kind of paint that actually cleans up better too, like washes easier. Like, look, oh, it's so gross. So that's the plan in here. And it's just fun. And if we want to move it back to my original plan someday too, and put the beds back where they were, I mean, it's not hard to move this stuff around. Everything's relatively lightweight, and they don't have to have their room stay exactly the same all the time. I used to rearrange my room like once a month when I was a teenager. I was constantly rearranging my furniture in my room. So that's what's going on in there. This area has gotten really bad because it kind of became the dumping ground for the stuff that's not gonna stay in the room anymore. So this table is the one that's going downstairs for Blake's computer. So that's one of the next things I'm gonna do. This play mat is gonna stay out here, and that blue bookshelf, for now at least, is gonna come back out here. I'm hoping we can kind of pare down, I've got all these pictures on here now, but I'm hoping we can pare down this bookshelf and maybe let go of some of these books and have this, like all those Stephen King books that Blake has, but he doesn't read and he doesn't want to get rid of. You know, maybe we can put the kids' books just in here. Even if we get like one shelf just in here, that would help. I also have like all of our yearbooks and stuff down here. If I move those into like a memory bin instead, that would give us some space. So maybe ultimately the blue bookshelf could go somewhere else, or it could just be completely gone. Although I really do like that blue bookshelf, but maybe it could go into our bedroom or somewhere else to be used in a different way. But for now, easiest thing is to put it back here where it used to be. I didn't love it here though, that's the only thing, but just the bookshelf and the playmat. It'll be a cute little cozy little nook. And then last but not least, actually probably gonna be first, we're throwing this one away. I'm taking that nightstand and moving it over here, and then that long bookshelf is just going right there, and that's all staying. Like, that's just gonna stay. So I will have a bookshelf as my nightstand, and that is fine with me. So I think where I'm gonna start is in here, switching the nightstands, getting rid of the broken one, then going down into the office, clearing off that bookshelf and bringing it up here, and our bedroom will be done. And I won't have to mess with it again during this whole situation. And then the second step I'm gonna do, hopefully this week, definitely for sure this week, is get the 2 computer desks from the office up into the kids' room and the brown desk downstairs. Then this whole upstairs, I won't have to be pulling furniture upstairs anymore or anything like that. And then I can just completely focus on expelling items from the office and just emptying it out as much as I possibly can before we leave. And then that way at least all the furniture is in the spot it's gonna be in. So that's my goal for now. It does make it harder to do that without first clearing all the clutter away. So that's gonna be kind of a juggling act, and it's probably not the smartest way to do it, but it's just the way that I want to do it and will make me feel most accomplished. That way I don't get all hung up in all the little teeny tiny shit yet. Yeah, that's just how I wanna do it. So let's get started. Okay, next up I have to tackle this area because I need to get this bookshelf up into my bedroom. We have a lot of books in the way, and I kind of want to get this stacked up better so that I have more of a walkway here. And I was kind of thinking I could just move the books kind of where these bins are for now until I'm ready to sort through them all. Because right now I just kind of need to move them out of the way. I'm not ready to sort them, really. I guess I could move them over here too, but I still just want to stack this up better so that I have a little bit more room to walk around. So I think, even though I need to get to this area, I think I'm gonna actually start right here just for sanity purposes. And I'm kind of being drawn to like clear off this table too, and even some of the stuff over there, just so that I have a better workspace in here to sort things. But I'm gonna pump the brakes just a little bit and try to control myself and just do this and then that, and then see where I am, just physically speaking, how tired I am, because it's still the same day. And I was planning to do all this like spread over the whole week. So, but I'm got a lot of energy and I'm into it right now. So I feel like I got to just roll with it. I probably should put some shoes on because my feet are starting to hurt, and that's going to be the thing that does me in by the end of this. But yeah, let's just while I have the energy, let's just go with it. So essentially, this is what it will be for now. And then I'll just chip away at it one bin at a time, get it all listed or donated. But at least it's like compact, you know, it's all, I don't know, stable. It's all stable. It's nice and neat and stacked up. I mean, obviously the stuff at the top isn't, but this stuff is like stuff I'm about to deal with first. These are bins that I'm going to be using for the kids' arts and crafts. So those will be going in a few days, hopefully. That'll probably be one of the next things I do, but lots of floor space. This desk is going to go here, coming out this way. I guess clearing this off and clearing that out will be in the next couple days too, and then we can get that out of this room and even move the desk so that it's where it's gonna go. That would be nice. And it is wider also. It is wider than this wall. So it is gonna be, because this is just like a tiny little bit of wall in between the two doors, the closet and the door. So I'm okay with it hanging over the closet. Obviously we don't access the closet a lot anyway, because look at all this crap that's in front of the closet, you know, so we don't ever go into that closet. See, this tower right here, it needs to be sorted through for one thing, but that's all the like mementos, like my grandma's photo albums and the genealogy stuff and Blake's grandma's photo albums, which that's the next project because we're not going to be keeping those. I'm just scanning them and then giving them to a different family member. So this is like the whole tower of, I don't know, it's the family archive is what I've been calling it. And that's going to get into the closet. And it's not stuff that we need to access all the time. Actually, that top one is that's not even part of it. The top two are not, no, top three are not even part of it. That's just stuff I got to sort and get through. But so anyway, it's okay if the desk hangs over a little bit. In other words, that's all I'm trying to say. And I was even thinking, because it is going to be a little crowded with the desk coming out, I measured it all on I made like a floor plan. So the desk will be coming out. I forget how far it's going to go. And then the bed is coming this way. Sorry, the lighting is rough in here right now because the sun's shining through. But it's going to be kind of a tight squeeze between the edge of the desk and the bed. They're both low things, so it won't be hard to like squeeze in between them. But I figured when we have an actual guest staying here, we will take the desk and rotate it up against the closet. So we'll just you know, be like this way, and we'll just rotate it up against the closet so that the guest has more floor space and it's just easier to get around in here. But then when nobody is staying in here and it needs to function more as my office, then I want the desk sticking out so that I can get in and out of the closet easy. And depending on what I'm doing, what project I'm working on, I might want to go in and out of the closet a lot if I'm doing the scanning of the family stuff. So anyway, it's a flexible kind of thing where we'll rearrange it as needed. But now we got to work over here. Let's start digging in over here.
side call to come down via the semi-automated.
Watch out, Brody, don't come in yet. Just wait a second.
Possession stat that you see, certainly it is accurate, but it tells a story.
Okay.
Two strategies.
Okay.
That'll be good for a video.
Got it. I caught it. I literally caught it. Okay. That was the hardest thing to move out of everything. Jesus. Thank you. It's the next day. I'm losing my voice again, so I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna show you things and you can use your imagination. I'm gonna tidy up some of the loose stuff in this room now. That's my goal for today. Max. Blake did move his computer over here, and then that's all the stuff from inside the drawers that he needs to sort through. Probably most of it needs to just be thrown away, I would guess. This is not ideal. I'm gonna just push forward for now, but not loving it. Definitely not loving the way the door doesn't open all the way. But I've been doing some rearranging on my little floor plan that I've drawn to see if there's a better option, and there may be. But for now, I'm just going to continue to clean because there's no point in dwelling on this right now. Once we get the bedroom furniture in here, I might want to rearrange everything anyway. So we're just gonna move forward. Okay, so it's actually quite a few days later. I didn't really end this video and I just sort of stopped working on everything completely because unfortunately I got really sick again. I don't know if it was a relapse from what I had the week before or if I caught some new kind of bug, but it really kicked my butt for like 3 or 4 days. I'm still, again, not 100%, coughing and coughing and coughing, and I don't have a lot of energy. So I'm ending this video now, but I will show you what we ended up deciding on and doing about the books. Blake, thankfully, decided to take his Stephen King collection and his Tom Clancy books to work. He just changed classrooms. He's got a new classroom next year. And so he was switching everything over and he had some bookshelves in there. So he was like, why don't I just keep my books at school? And I'm thinking, yeah, because realistically, you're probably never gonna read them anyway. So he can just keep them in his classroom until he retires. And then when he retires, he can donate them all. Or then maybe when he retires, he'll actually start reading. Who knows? But I think that's a really good solution for book storage for him because he doesn't really read ever. He just likes having those books. Those are just books that he likes. So buy him. Out of my house, not my problem, not my business. So anyway, that freed up the bookshelf at the top of the stairs, which is fantastic. So in that bookshelf, I put all of our classics and like the nonfiction and biographies. Those all fit in there absolutely perfectly. They look so much nicer, in my opinion, than the Stephen Kings. He likes the Stephen Kings though, and I know a lot of people are a big fan of Stephen King, so I'm not knocking Stephen King. It's just not my personal taste, not my thing. I don't like being scared, so it's more about me being a wuss, and they just creep me out. So I'm glad they're off display in our home. The Tom Clancy's needed to go anyway because they were in the bookshelf in the office that I moved up into the bedroom. So now the bookshelf in the bedroom holds the fiction books. It doesn't hold all of them that I have. There's still quite a few loaded in the other nightstand as well, but that's okay because as I read them, as I said, if they're not like the best of the best book that I've ever read and something I really want to keep, I'm donating them all after I read them. So slowly over time, the ones from the nightstand can make their way into the bookshelf. Basically what it means is the books are no longer just stacked around the room. I do have a small select few on display on the dresser. Those are the Book of the Month Lolly winners, best book of the year, voted by the Book of the Month subscribers. Those are the Lolly winners. And then this year, because it's the 100th anniversary of Book of the Month, they are doing reprints of classics. So I've been buying a lot of those as well, and I have those stacked up in this little like special edition collection kind of area. On the cedar chest, I still have the books that I have already read that I am hoping to do a video for. Eventually, I would like those to go probably in the office. I am still planning to get one bookshelf in the office, but I also maybe kind of don't need it to be all books either. That could be maybe more of like a flex space, or maybe that's where I put the books. Sorry, there's loud sounds outside again, once again. Maybe that's where I put the books that are the ones that I'm planning to keep. Those are the best of the best. Maybe that's where I'll put those Lolly winners and the special edition books, and you know, that's the 5-star bookshelf. And then that frees up room in the bedroom for my, basically, this is my TBR. These are books that I have not yet read and want to read, and I would love to do it that way, where the books that I have read and that I love and that I want to keep are downstairs in the office on the one new bookshelf I'm gonna get, and the rest just stay in the bedroom. And I'm kind of loving this bookshelf next to my bed also. I do need like a basket or something to put my nightstand drawer items. I was able to pare it down to like practically nothing, but there are a few things that I want at reach, like chapstick. There's a medicine that I take at night that I like to have in my nightstand. You know, there's just like certain things that I want to have in my nightstand, but now I don't have a drawer. So I'm thinking just like a little basket or some sort of a little box or something, and it doesn't need to be big. I don't need to keep all the lotions and all these other things that I had in there before. I put those in the bathroom, and actually a lot of them I just threw away because I hadn't even gone in that drawer for anything but like taking my pills at night. So this is working out much better already. I'm really liking how everything's going. So next week, to be continued, I'm going to keep working on the office. I think the next step is going to be switching things around for the arts and crafts area, and then getting that second desk up into the kids' room. The kids are loving having their desk in their bedroom. They're loving the way the room has been rearranged. It still needs a lot of work in there. Not a lot of work, but it still needs some work in there. They've got all the old books that I think they probably are going to get rid of most of them. I did move their blue bookshelf onto the landing area. I don't hate it, but I think maybe eventually we won't need that little blue bookshelf at all. Maybe we'll be able to fit all of the kids' books in that built-in bookshelf on the landing. That's an idea as well. Once I get that extra bookshelf in the office, the books might rearrange a little bit more again, but for now, they're all stable. Everything's in a good spot. I'm really liking how everything's functioning, and it's just gonna keep getting better. So thanks for watching this episode. To be continued next week. I'm trying to just sort of film what I do during the week and then post it, you know, and it's not gonna be like a complete project every week, but sort of like you're here along with me in real time as I'm doing it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to get notified every time I post a video. Hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next week. Bye everyone.